HaKadosh Boker Tov. We're going to mention a very important halacha v'inyan diyoma, which is we know that when February has 29 days, so then we start the Barekh Aleinu on December 5th and not on December 4th. And that's why on December 5th at night, that's when we started the Barekh Aleinu, which actually started last night. In many places in the world, even if they did one Amidah throughout the entire year, they would actually do two Amidahs this morning, just in order to make the differentiation between the Barekhenu and the Barekh Aleinu. Now, when we're talking about the halachot of Barekh Aleinu, why is it very, very important to know? Because Maran and Siman Kuf Yud Zayin says like this: Im lo sha'al matar bimot geshamim, machzirin oto af al pi shesha'al tal. Which means, if a person forgot to say v'ten tal matar livracha, he forgot to ask for rain. So even if he did mention tal, he mentioned do, but machzirin oto, you have to repeat the Amidah again. Aval im sha'al matar velo tal. But if you only said the matar velotal, emachzirin oto. So here basically it says the halacha that you would have to go back if you forgot it. And even if you did mention tal, you would still have to go back. Now, the Sif Hey in Shulchan Aruch says, let's say right now I forgot Barekh Aleinu, and I remembered before the Chatimat Beracha. So I start again for the beginning, and I start again Barekh Aleinu instead of Barekhenu. So imagine, I'm Barekhenu Hashem Elokeinu, right before Baruch Atah Hashem, I start again Barekh Aleinu. Why? Because I made a mistake. According to the Ashkenazim, right, remember that they do not have a difference between the nusach, meaning Ashkenazim will always have Barekh Aleinu, and then in the middle they would say V'tem bracha or V'ten talmata livracha. Sfaradim, we have a difference, Barekhenu and Barekh Aleinu. Barekhenu is very short, and Barekh Aleinu is very, very long. So he comes and he says, so the Ashkenazim, they would just mention it. Wherever it is, they would just say V'ten talmata livracha, and then they would continue. They don't have to start from the beginning of the bracha, because anyway, the beginning of the bracha was the same. So they just say V'ten talmata livracha, and then Baruch Atah Hashem Mevarech Hashanim. Now, if they do not remember until after saying Baruch Atah Hashem, right, so then you have to say Lamedeni Chukecha. Why? Because since if you do not say it, you have to go back, right, to the beginning of the Amidah. So therefore you would say Lamedeni Chukecha, start from the beginning of the bracha. What happens now if you already finished Mevarech Hashanim, and now you're right before Tekah B'Shofar? So in such a case, you would say V'ten talmata livracha, and then you would continue. And also in Shema Kolenu, you would say again V'ten talmata livracha al kol pnei adama. If you remembered only after you started Tekah B'Shofar, even in the second that you said Tekah, you say it in Shema Kolenu. You would say V'ten talmata livracha ki ata shomea kol hakupeh, and then you would continue. If you already said Baruch Atah Hashem of Shomea Tefillah again, Baruch Atah Hashem lamedeni chukecha, then you would have to come and do it again. And if you already finished Shomea Tefillah before starting Ritzeh, you would say V'ten talmata livracha, and then you would continue with Ritzeh. So you do see how many times you would still be able to make up the V'ten talmata livracha, but you still have to say it. Do not think that, okay, I forgot it, so then that's it. No. You still have to say V'ten talmata livracha al pnei adama. If it was that you already remembered right after, and you just said the word Ritzeh, or you remember it any time afterwards, he comes and he says, you go back to Birkat HaShanim. So imagine, you already said, Ritzeh Hashem Elokeinu, I forgot Barekh Aleinu. Start Barekh Aleinu. You have to go back to Barekh Aleinu, right, Hashem Elokeinu. Now, if you already actually finished, right, the entire Amidah, so then you would have to start the beginning of the Amidah, as we already mentioned. So again, you've got many different halachot, right? It's actually just very, very simple just to remember. The very simple concept is, you have to say V'ten talmata livracha. If you forget V'ten talmata, you're going to have to repeat the Amidah. So as long as you're in the middle of the bracha, you start the beginning of the bracha. If you already said Baruch Atah Hashem, lamedeni chukecha, you finished, so then again you would have to say it right then and there. And then again in Shema Kolenu. Before starting, if you already started Tekah B'Shofar, again you would do it in Shema Kolenu. If you got to Shema Kolenu and you said Baruch Atah Hashem, lamedeni chukecha, if right you finish Baruch Atah Hashem Shomea Tefillah, you say it right then and there. The second that you start the Ritzeh, you have to go back to Barekh Aleinu. If you already, any time after Ritzeh, if you already finished the Amidah, you would have to start from the beginning of the Amidah.